Welcome back to another Colourful Keto with Dori. It's Monday. It's Motivational Monday. We're getting together with Robyn Davis, and we're going to talk about who inspires us, who keeps us going, and who helps us bounce, courtesy of Honeychrome. So, Robyn will be with us in a moment, and we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. And we're going to talk about our stories, and I want you guys to comment who inspires you. Who is your keto sister? Who do you love, and who could you not get through without? And I'm on my page, so Robyn should be here in a moment. And Jessica, will you hop on? Let Robyn know. We're waiting on her. Oh, it's the best day, though, to dance. You guys gotta want to dance on a Monday. Don't tell me I'm doing it by myself. Oh. And we don't see Robyn yet, but she should be here soon. 5 o'clock is our old time on Wednesdays, and that's when we rescheduled for. So let's cross our fingers and hope that Robyn didn't forget us. Oh, goodness. So, how's your Monday so far? I'm having such a good day. Did you see this soup I just made for myself? If you didn't see it, you need to go check it out in my feed, because yum! Oh, and if we don't see Robyn by the time this song is done, I'll shoot her a message. She should be here soon. And we're having fun anyways, right? And someone told me that today Instagram wasn't giving live notifications. So I'm wondering if they have done an update just to be rude. So let's send Robyn a message and just let her know that we are hanging out alive and we are waiting for her. There she is, Robyn! We love you, Robyn. Aw, darling. As Dori casually coughs to her elbow. Oh, so smooth. That's like regal even. I'm just going to put that out there and say, hello, darling!
I am so sorry. I was home and I was actually talking to Miss Carrie Brown, and we got into a conversation, and all of a sudden, I looked and I went,
uh-oh!
6 o'clock! So I did shoot you a message. I'm like, 5 minutes late, so I don't know if you got it.
Oh, I didn't, but that's okay. That's all right. And you know what? That's the perfect topic to start on, because today we're going to talk about who inspires us. So while you're sharing to your group and to my group, please and thank you, I will let everyone know what we're going to talk about today, and you, because let's be honest, you messaged me and said, hey, do we have a topic for today? Because I just kind of pick them and let you know. So today's topic that I chose was who inspires you, and I want to talk to everybody about why we started keto and who inspires us on the rough days. Who do we fall back on? You know, how do you get that someone to call when you're having a moment and you're like, oh my God, I'm feeling all the feelings and I want to eat all the things. Help me. So we're going to talk about that. How do we get a support base? So first, who inspired us to start? Who keeps us going? And how do we figure out who those people are? If we don't have them in our lives, how do we bring them in? So the fact that you were talking to Miss Carrie Brown, hello, how could she not inspire you? Is she not the most amazing creature you've ever spoken to?
I'm telling you, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to boot up my computer here.
Oh, it's all good.
Just phenomenal. And, you know, we were talking, and I'll be doing a live with her tomorrow night. That's, you know,
Yes.
one of the things that I need other people for. Okay, I'm not saying I don't need other people for times when I want to eat everything in the world, and all that kind of stuff. But one of the things that I need other people for are, I know my limitations, things that I'm not, that I don't understand, and I need to be able to. But I know people in the group need that.
Yes.
And I could wing it, but I prefer not to, because that's not helping anybody.
No.
So I try to find people, you know, that do different, that have different strengths than I do, and I know my limitations.
Yes, and you know what? Let's talk about that for a moment while you're sharing up and doing your thing, because
almost there.
Oh no, it's all good. You take your time, because that is really so important, and that's why I spend so much of my time reaching out to other people too, because I get a lot of questions about things that are just, let's be honest, that is above Dori's pay grade, which is nothing, but that is like free time. So they're just things that I don't understand enough about to give people advice. And it's not that I don't want to help them, because I really, really do. But at the same point, this is where we get to draw on the community and get expertise and share that with people. Because really, the bottom line is that's how we get information out on a daily basis. People want reality. They want to see someone real. They want to ask their questions. They want to be able to say, you know, hey, Robyn, what do you think about that? And if you don't know enough about it, you can say, you know what, I don't really know, but let me do some work. I'm going to reach out in the community and see who we can talk to that knows. And I will say that Miss Carrie Brown is one of my absolute favorite experts to draw on, because wow, does she know her stuff.
Well, and then one of the things that I look for, and I know you've run into them too, people that might contact you, or maybe you contact them, and, you know, say, hey, might want to work together, but then you realize that your motivations are completely different. And so one of the things I look for is whose heart's in the same place mine is.
Yes.
And who's on the same page, in terms of not necessarily core beliefs, but beliefs in, I don't know, humanity, maybe.
Yes.
That
Yes.
the reason that we're doing this.
Yes.
And, you know, there's too many people out there, I think, where, you know, that have groups, and they'll be looking for something. So, well, why don't you contact so-and-so? Oh, I'm not bringing anyone else in. This is my group. Oh, no. I can't do that. I'm not good enough for that.
No, I don't know everything.
You know what? I thought I did, but now I don't. Now, there's, you know, people hit me with medical questions every day. I know where to go. I won't answer those. Even if I know the answer, I think I know the answer, I need to double check that. Not for me. I mean, I'm not legally responsible. I can say whatever I want, I guess. But in order to get a blow me one too.
Yeah. That's my guy just came home from work, grabbed the cat, and headed out to the garage.
There you go. You know, for the good of the group, I want to make sure they get the best information. And part of what I see my job is, if you will, is to gather the best people and, you know, play off of each other's strengths. And,
yes.
you know, if someone says, I am, you know, dying for either a recipe creation, or, you know, some issues with weight loss surgeries and stuff, my first thought's going to be, Dori's going to be able to help with that. And, you know, I've got my go-tos, and I'm helping to get more,
yes.
so that we can kind of like one stop, or, you know, with all of us together, it's kind of like a one big one-stop shop.
Yes. And you know what? Let's talk a little bit about that, because you know what? We all have our resources, but we don't really talk about that publicly. So nobody really knows. Like for me, I have my science go-tos, and that's your group. And Wende's group, which is Keto Warriors Journey, because you guys love research. And I know you love it. And I know if I look at something and I'm like, oh, I don't even want to read that, I'm like, oh, I know Robyn's going to love me if I ask her read and translate that for me. Hi, Robyn, could you put this in Dori speak, please? And you know what? I'm okay with saying, you know what? I'm not the science girl. I'll hold up my hand. I'm not the science girl. If you're looking for fun, if you're looking for food your kids will eat, if, you know, I've got a lot of knowledge, but not everything is my area of expertise. So I am more than happy to farm that out and message you, message Wende, message Dr. Ken and say, hey, you know, can you help me out with that? Today I met the gut health guru because I get a million questions about gut health and I'm all like, eat yogurt? Like, I don't know. This is what I know, like, about gut health. Eat yogurt. Be healthy. Go gut health.
Just eat keto.
Just eat keto. You'll be fine.
But, you know, and a lot of it, too, is it almost sounds, it almost sounds selfish, but it's really, it only hurts the groups if we try to do everything ourselves.
Oh, yes.
Carrie and I were just talking about this. There are mornings that I wake up to 100 messages, literally, private messages. And
yes.
Some of them are quick, and some of them are very long, and I love doing the one-on-one stuff, but that means I'm going to have to give on something else. I'm going to have to ask Dori to help me with that one, or, you know, ask Nancy to help me with this, or ask Elizabeth to help me with it. Do that, and at the same time, if you're getting things that, like, you know, this isn't really my thing, but let me ask Robyn to help with that. We all have our separate groups, but I kind of consider us, I mean, we're admins on each other's groups.
Yes.
Because we want to control your group. I don't know. I have time to control my own group. But,
right?
I kind of consider us one group with little subgroups.
I do too. Honestly, I do. Like, I really feel like we all have exactly the same end goal. We all see keto the same way. We all have the same ideas about finding your fit and, you know, doing the fats first. And at the end of the day, we all just share the desire to help people. You know, we all came to keto differently. Our groups are all completely different and unique, but together, man, the pool of knowledge that we have, and the Spitfires, baby, we got it licked.
One of the things I think I need to do is put some links to other groups. Like
yes.
Talk about it all the time. Everybody knows that you're in our group and I'm in your group, but maybe some recommended for people.
Yes.
Because we need to kind of pick on women for a minute, but I always work with men, and I prefer
women are snitty.
Because women are, you know, a lot of women are like, you know, you're gonna steal my people. Oh no, we need to share. We all need to share because the people in your group, not just us, we're special, but not that special. Our group members can help your group members. Your group members
yes.
can help our. Because one of the things you said to me was, you know, talk about who inspired us and who keeps us inspired. I know I'm jumping around. I tell you, who keeps me inspired and going every day is the people in my group.
Yes.
That's who it is. When somebody sends me a message and says, I just had to tell you first, literally, I haven't told my husband, I haven't told my family. Yes. I'm like, I mean, I got off the medication. My A1C dropped this much. I love that. That's what I want to keep happening.
Yes.
So, y'all are the ones that inspire me.
A million %. And let's be honest, without the people in our groups, we wouldn't even do this. I originally started my group thinking I would help 6 to 12 ladies just one-on-one. You know, that first initial 3 to 6 days is stressful when you're panicking and you think you don't know what to do. By week 1, you're pretty set. Then you only need to check in every once in a while. And I thought, you know what, I can do that. I can help like 6, 12 ladies. And it blew up. And then I invited friends to help me run my group and other groups to help join in my group, because as it grows, I can only help so many people one-on-one every day. We only have 24 hours in the day. And you know what? According to the doctor, we should sleep at least 7.5 of those.
My doctor never told me that, or I wasn't listening.
I don't listen either.
I'm starting the NTC program next month, which is a 9-month school, basically.
Ooh.
And the reason I'm doing it is so that I can take that knowledge and pass it on, all that sciencey stuff. But I'm sitting here panicking, going, "How am I doing? I'm already not sleeping." So we, we really need each other.
Yes. You carry this for 1 second. I'm going to grab my charger because it's such a crazy day today. My phone is almost dead already.
And one of the things Dori and I talked about that we wanted to mention today is kind of who inspired us to start.
Yes.
And y'all know, I know people in my group know for sure. Nothing inspired me. It was just a stupid diet I hadn't tried yet. But it was really my neighbor who, she just kind of mentioned it a little bit. I don't think she mentioned it by name. And I learned from her. And, Kathy Verdun, if you happen to be watching, thank you. 3.5 years ago, I've got you to thank for this. And then since that time, it has just been such a journey. Like Dori said, she wanted to help 6 or 12 people. I started my group with 10 people that I knew that either did keto or I didn't think they'd mind if I added them to the group.
I think they won't unfriend me if I just add them.
People in it. So I needed like at least 10. And all of a sudden, between the page and the group, now I've got 7,000 people that at the end of, all my things, I'm like, I love you guys. And I really do. It's like a family, a community.
Yes.
With everybody having one, imagine, just all having one end goal in mind, but different ideas and different ways to get there. That is really cool, and I just want to embrace that, and I just thank everybody that's in both of our groups and all the other groups that we work with, because if you weren't here, I'd have no purpose, I think.
You know what? I feel that way too. Like when I originally started my group, I thought, I'll help a few people and I'll start a group. And then I started to encounter other people from other groups. And it just, the hostility it's shocking. It's absolutely shocking. And I thought, wow, I'll associate with the groups that I know, because we all know we're coming from the same place of good. There's no, you're coming into my group, you're trying to steal my people. My people. My people can't listen to anybody but me. I'm the authority on absolutely everything. My people should only ever listen to me. And I think, oh dear God, unless you know absolutely everything about everything, what kind of attitude is that to have about your people that really are just people you're trying to help?
Well, some people either do think they know everything, or I think it's an insecurity thing. I don't know how many people are in the group right now, but I'm not after a number. I want, I want to spread the word. I want, the more people, for sure, the better, but it has to be the right people.
Yes.
Meaning that we all have to get along, we have to be nice, and we really all have to have the same end goal in mind. That's for group members, but it's also for the people that I work with, like, with you and Nancy,
yes,
and Dr. Kim, now, now Carrie, and the other people that I'm going to be bringing on. If you do your thing well, and I do my thing well, and he does his thing well, and she does her thing well, our group members collectively, when I say our, I mean everybody. It's not my group, it's our group.
It's ours.
And they're the ones that are going to benefit from all of this. And that's what I look for when I'm looking for who to go to for help, and who, when people come to me and say, well, will you do this for me? And if I look through their stuff and I'm like, you know what, this isn't me. This isn't me. I will say no. I've said no to a couple of things, and people, not because I don't want to help, but because I see what goes on in there, and it's not me.
Yeah. And there's a lot of ways to keto, and they're not all nice either. And it's happened to me. Someone will message and say, hey, I'd love to, get together and do a live with you, check out my group, and you spend a couple days in their group, poking around in their group, and it's not a nice vibe. And what I have learned about groups is if it's a nasty vibe in the group, then it's also nasty in the admin group. Because that filters down. Like, if you're in a group and it's friendly and it's fun and people are supportive and loving to you, you can tell that's the base of the admin of that group. But if you roll into a group and all the comments are nasty and they're mean or they're snotty, people are insulting each other, I don't spend any time in those groups, and I don't work with people who ask me to, who run those kinds of groups.
Someone was asking, I have trouble getting comments over here, but I do see one. Someone was asking what it's this MCT course, or the NTC course, Nutritional Therapy Consultant. It's, you can do just through the Nutritional Therapy Association, certification. I am actually certified, but the reason that I'm doing it again is because where I originally got certified from, I don't want to say like I knew everything. I didn't learn anything, but I really didn't.
I didn't learn anything.
I didn't learn anything. Okay, that was a waste of $800. So this one is nationally accredited. Continuing education and all of that. I got my book. I got like a third of my books in.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And it's all the way from back to basic anatomy and physiology. I got books about why you need stomach acid. It's going to be long, but it's actually, Christine Moore, Jimmy Moore's wife, actually has done this. So I'm doing the same program that I think she's a practitioner. I chose not to because it's nothing that I'm ever going to do for a job. I'm not going to go out and get a job doing this. It is for, first and foremost, my knowledge, so I can pass that knowledge along. So
I'm in line.
Benefit of my schooling.
I'm in line. So we had a question. What are these groups? So Robyn's group is Keto For Life on Facebook. Mine is, wait for it, Colourful Keto Lifestyle. Because there's a shock. Nancy's is Keto For Real Life People Group, because it's the same name as her public page. And Wendy's group is Keto Warriors Journey. And is there anyone else that you work quite closely with that you would like to mention? I do have a couple other groups that I really, really love. How about you?
I know I would certainly suggest following The Real Carrie Brown.
Yes.
And,
1,000,000%.
Would suggest following Dr. Ken D. Berry, if you don't.
Yes.
For, not just for medical, but at least following their public pages. And at this point, there's other people out there. I don't spend a lot of time because I'm spending most time in the groups that you just mentioned,
Yes.
and that I just mentioned. And I don't really know what's going on in some of the other ones. But
Yes.
a lot of the groups that I'm in, well, Dr. Fung's fasting group for sure.
Ooh.
But I've unfollowed. Not because I love Dr. Fung, all things fasting. I want to go to Toronto and just follow him around.
Yes. Hello, I'm your best friend.
No, I'm a total nerd. But I've had to unfollow a lot of them because it's just constant. I'm wading through that. But I still stay a member so I can go back and check in.
Yes.
Things like IDM Management, which is Dr. Fung page. I would certainly recommend following that. Those are, I can go on and on and on, but those are the ones, like if someone has a fasting question that I, for whatever reason, can't answer, can't quite remember, that I'm going to Dr. Fung for that.
Yes.
Barry for the medical questions. I'm going to you for fall is coming. We need to create something,
yes.
or kid stuff or creative
yes.
type of thing. Because I don't have creative bone in my body, but I know who does.
And that is really, it's, I would say, my true passion, because you know what? I spent a lifetime going without. Because I was yo-yo dieting and binge eating, you always had that sense of being deprived. So for me, when I found a ketogenic way of eating, I was like, you know what? I will never go without anything ever again. It just won't happen. I will make a version of it. If there's something you want and you don't think you can have it, message me, because I will figure out a way to create it. And I've made the most impossible things, because you can, and my brain works that way. Like when they say think out of the box, I have a hard time getting my brain into the box. Like into the box.
That's a perfect, segue as to, if you're trying to go through research articles that you don't enjoy doing anyway,
yes,
to try to answer a question for somebody, what you're not doing is creating something that you're really good at in the kitchen.
Yes.
At the same time, I'm trying to figure out, how to, and I've done this, trying to do this for people. Okay, how do I ketify this recipe, which I can do, but it'll take me a long time, because I got to be Googling stuff, and if you could pass some of that off to me, and I pass some of that off to you,
yes.
Do either one of us want our group members thinking, oh, Robyn doesn't want to help me, she just passed me off to Dori. No, honestly, because Dori's better at that.
Yes.
Vice versa.
Well, and my brain just works that way. As soon as I look at a recipe, I immediately start thinking, I would switch this and this and this, and I would do this and this and this. Even when I go to a restaurant, if I walk by a cake, if I walk by, you name it, immediately my brain starts to, what would I do instead? And if somebody says to me, oh, I can't have nuts, instantly my brain goes, okay, I would do this and this and this. But if somebody says to me, for example, this is a great one for you to research. When Jessica and I were talking about gut health, she wants to know, when you use sugar to ferment your vegetables and your fruits, which are to be healthy for gut health, how much of that sugar still remains after the fermenting process, or does it actually break down the sugar in the fermenting process? And I was like, wow, that's a really good question. Wow, that would take me a while to research. But
I will find
good
out
one.
I will find out.
Yes. Yes, I'll have to give you my list, because I have a couple things that came up today. So in our gut health talk, that one came up today. And also, I want to know, because I always thought that leaky gut and leaky belly button were the same thing. Apparently they're not. So I want to know what causes leaky belly button. And when people say leaky gut, I just thought it was the same thing. But apparently I made up my own word for something totally different, which is very Dori. Like, that's almost classic Dori. And I know that leaky belly button is a term, so I know it's an actual thing. I know it's a legitimate thing, and I can explain to you what it is, but I don't know what causes it, and I don't know how to fix it. I know it has something to do with stomach issues, and it's not an all the time thing, but what happens is it's almost like an acidic discharge from the belly button. So it smells not nice. And it burns, like it burns the skin around it and leaves the belly button raw. Now, I know how to treat it. You use peroxide and you put in polysporin and you cry for a couple of days till it goes away. But I don't know what causes it or really how to fix it other than treating the symptoms of it. But I have a lot of people ask me, and I'm like, good question, because I don't have that. I have a friend who has that problem. We'll call her not Dori.
Asking for a friend.
Right?
Yeah, I just wrote those two things down.
I love that. Hashtag asking for a friend. Yeah. So yeah, and if your people have any recipe questions, if you guys have any recipe questions, pop them in for me.
I tag you in posts all the time. People
Oh,
go, what can I
love
do
it.
this? What can I do that? Gee, I don't know. I'll bet Dori would know. And
Dori knows.
You always say yes, which is
Oh. Well, and I love it too, because of the amount of volume of notifications, I can't even follow every notification in my own group. I mean, there's 2,600 people in my group. We love to chit chat. I blast stuff. So do my people. That's how I know they're my people, because we're all like, joke, recipe, fun, ha, laugh. So
I actually had to turn. I used to have it on notifications where I got notified every time someone posted.
Yeah.
It's turned on.
I had to.
I still go through every hour or so. I go through and I scroll, but I've said to people, I'm not intentionally ignoring you, but you gotta tag me.
Yes.
Or I see it.
Yes.
And boy, I'm not complaining. I mean, 2,500 people in a group that started with 10, and almost 4,000 on a page that started with 0. We want to help everybody, but I think the people that the people that I have in the group, I know if I don't get to a question, somebody else is going to answer it, and they're going to answer it just fine.
And so just the way we would.
Not
right?
Do I call on you and such for help, but I call on my group members for help too.
I do.
Pages. Some haven't started yet, and some have been doing it for 2 and 3 years. So, and everything in between.
Well, and I always encourage, and not that I don't love private messages, because I do. I love them. It's inspiring. They touch my soul. They make me cry. But I encourage people to post their questions. Like if they're just commenting to me and they want to let me know that they're sharing something with me, then by all means message me. If it's a question, then do me a favor and post it in group. Because if you're asking and you're curious, then probably 50 other people are curious and they're asking. If you do me a favor and post it in group, because nobody wants to ask first, then we can all have a big discussion about it and everybody learns. And I don't spend an entire day that I have scheduled for something else private messaging with 50 people. So that helps me. It helps me if people are brave enough to ask their question out in group. Because I get it. Nobody wants to share, their stuff, and they might be embarrassed. But you know what? We put it out there all day, every day, to encourage you guys to do the same. And no one's ever going to judge you in our groups. Like, ever, ever, ever in a million years.
If they do, they're not going to be around much longer.
No.
And I get the private messages. There's some private messages I got, and that I get it. You want to keep it private, and I'm honored that you would share it with me.
Yes.
But the stuff that we talk about in the group, there's not much that doesn't go.
No. And it's a private group. So what you're posting in group, only the group members can see. Now, I will caveat that Nancy's group is a public group, because her group is formatted a little bit differently. But I want to tell you guys about how Nancy's group works and why I love using her group as a resource. Now, Nancy did keto before and restarted in January. So because she was restarting at the beginning of January, she was able to start her group by weeks. So in week 1, she made a post that says, week 1, we've got this, all comments underneath. Now, what that does is it keeps everybody together in one post and nobody gets left behind. Where one person posts, oh, I've got a question about this, question about that. There might be 100 posts and people get left behind because nobody sees all of the notifications. So in Nancy's group, all the discussion goes week by week. So if you are, for example, you're just starting brand new at keto and you want to look at week 1, you can literally go to her group. You can click on week 1 and you can see everything that everybody talked about in week 1. Their questions, their food, their posts, the videos, everything that everybody talked about is in week 1. So if you're like, oh my goodness, I'm week 6, all of a sudden I don't feel like I'm hungry ever. Is that normal? I can say to people, I could be like, oh, go look at week 6 and you're going to laugh. Message me back in 5. And they're like, oh my God, that is so normal. That's literally what everybody was saying in week 6. And everything seems to catch on like wildfire. Like, week 3 was the week when everybody was like, am I ever going to be hungry again? All of a sudden, I'm not hungry. Week 2, everybody was starving and wondering if, you know, they're going to gain weight from eating all this food. By week 5, everybody's like, oh, hey, so what's this intermittent fasting thing that I heard so much about? And then by week 12, everybody was like, oh my goodness, what is OMAD? What is OMAD? What's 1 meal a day eating?
I love the way she structured that.
Oh, I love it. And for me, it's the best resource. If someone is confused, I just say, go check out that week because you'll be surprised, girl, it's you. Because all day long, I can guess where people are in their journey by what they tell me right away. Like if they message me and say, oh my God, Dori, like I am ravenous. I could eat everything in my house. What is this? I'm like, oh, so you're somewhere between week 1 and week 3. And they're like, yeah, how did you know? Because we all go through it, maybe slightly differently, but we all do. It's all the same phase. And the problem is we're all starting at different times. It's so hard to get caught up. You know, you're coming into a group of people who, you know, have been eating this way for 3 months or 6 months. Our groups have been around for almost a year now. And you're brand new and you go, oh, hi, I heard this awesome keto word and I like stuff. Hello. And where do you go, right? We don't ever want to leave anyone behind. So
No, we don't.
Always comment and always love up on new people when they come into the group too.
So I'm going to ask you, what is the name of Nancy's group again? It's Keto for Real Life People group.
Yes. Yes. And I should scroll too and see if we have any other questions too. And we should do a closing thought. We are a little over on time. I have another live in 20 minutes. Hello, Miss Tatiana, Terry. Oh, yay, Burned Butters is hanging out. I got a sample of burned butter in my swag bag from Keto Valley Vest. I was so excited because, girl, I fell in love with this at KetoCon, and I only brought home 2 samples, and I nursed them like they were like...
What is it?
Oh, okay. So they're an individual pack of grass-fed butter mixed with MCT and avocado oil, and then they're flavored. So you can add them in your coffees. I put some on ice cream because it turns into crackle, but you can put them in coffee, in tea. You could add that to your fat bomb stuff, and they've got in them... The ingredients are only avocado oil, MCT oil, clarified butter, hazelnut extract, organic ethyl alcohol natural flavors, and monk fruit extract. And it's just a single...
Candy.
Oh, they do. And I love, like, oh my goodness, love. To heaven.
Next year. I didn't go this year. I said I'm going to go on the cruise instead. Next year, I don't think my husband knows we're going on everything.
We're going everything next year. And you know what? Let's end up on that note and say, you know what? Going to events and meet and greets, you will never be more inspired than being surrounded by people who share your lifestyle, your goal, your drive to be healthy, just to be out in public surrounded by people who love what you love. I can't even tell you how amazing that feeling is. And next year's KetoCon is going to be like the bomb. I don't even know how to tell you. We'll be going out in force. Last year it was just us. How many of our group members are going? Like our collective group members, there's so many who are already going because we need to.
If you are thinking about going to KetoCon next year in Austin, Texas, the end of June, only until the end of this month. So
yes.
A couple days.
3 days.
3 classes are
4 days.
half price. $100 instead of $200. So I think September 1st they back up to $200 again. So if you're thinking about it, if you're on the fence, you only got another couple of days till the end of the month anyway to get your half price tickets.
Yes. So. And if you're like, oh, that's a lot of money, I just want to say that this year's event was $3.99 American for the 3 days, which was $5.35 Canadian for me. So I am certainly getting my ticket when it's $100 American. That's going to cost me about $140. So you guys don't want to miss out on the sale, and it's only a couple of days because the inspiration is going to be going around there like wildfire.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Oh, and yumminess, because that's an inspiration too. When you realize that you don't have to miss out on all the good stuff that you thought you did.
So, you've got another live coming.
Yes, and I have to charge up all my stuff.
Closing thought for me is just, Dori and I did a thing several months ago, I think, about finding your tribe.
Yes.
Find your tribe. This is kind of along the same lines. Who's there for the right reasons to help you? Not only like the admin people, but in the group. Where do you fit? You fit somewhere. I like to think that everybody fits in our group, but I've seen some members of the groups that they don't fit in our group.
Yes.
I just know it. And find where you belong. I know I found where I belong with people like Dori and in our group, and so find where you belong, and you don't have to stick with one group. It's okay.
Right.
We have an approved list.
Yeah, that's right. We have an approved list. Check them off. Yes. We'll do it like a bingo card. Tick.
You need permission first.
Right.
No, you do not.
No.
And the longer you go, you're going to start to find your place. And I hope it's with us. But if it's not, that's okay. You're going to find a place.
Find people who are your kind of weird. That was the best advice I ever got in my life. And I was like, yes. My kind of weird is pretty fun. Just saying.
There's a place for everybody.
Have an awesome evening, darling. Thank you so much for your time again. And I can't wait to see you next Monday.
We will see you then, if not before.
Oh, I'm sure before. Bye, doll.